Things just took a serious turn for LaMelo Ball. His ex-girlfriend has come forward with shocking allegations during their legal battle, including death threats and a forced abortion. The story spread instantly, but what unfolded in court next caught everyone off guard. Let's break down how the drama unfolded. LaMelo Ball, the prodigy in his shadows. Right now, a name is running across every timeline, every group chat, and every sports gossip page on the internet. That name is LaMelo Ball. And the conversation swirling around it involves a woman who is allegedly saying he threatened her life, a secret child, a drug video, and a family court case in California that, if the claims are true, is about to get extremely uncomfortable. But before we get to any of that, you need to understand exactly who LaMelo Ball is, because the gravity of this story only lands once you understand what is at stake. LaMelo LaFrance Ball was born on August 22, 2001 in Anaheim, California, the youngest of 3 sons born to LaVar and Tina Ball. He was drafted 3rd overall in the 2020 NBA draft by the Charlotte Hornets, and from day one, he played like everything his father had spent 20 years promising the world he would be. Quick, instinctive, genuinely entertaining in a way that cannot be coached, only inherited. In 2021, LaMelo was named the NBA Rookie of the Year, becoming one of the youngest players ever to claim that award. In 2022, he made his first NBA All-Star game. He signed a long-term Puma deal worth approximately $100 million and locked in a max contract extension with the Hornets worth up to approximately $260 million over 5 years. By every conventional measure, the youngest Ball was the most successful Ball. Nobody raised LaMelo Ball the way LaVar Ball raised LaMelo Ball. That sounds obvious, but the full weight of it only lands when you hear LaMelo try to put it into words. Asked once, in an interview that has circulated widely, what it felt like to have his dad present for every meal, every school drop-off, every ordinary moment that adds up to a childhood, LaMelo's answer was not the warm-hearted speech the interviewer was probably expecting.
I can't give you an answer because, like, I always had him. Like, you ain't had no dad.
He could not answer it because for LaMelo, having a present, invested, demanding, wonderful, relentless father was not an experience to reflect on. It was just existence. It was the only atmosphere he had ever breathed, and in a world where so many young men grow up without that anchor. That simple, stumbling, unrehearsed answer tells you more about who LaMelo Ball is than any highlight reel ever could. Away from the weight of the family name, LaMelo has always carried a self-deprecating, quietly hilarious quality that fans have latched onto. In a viral lie detector-style YouTube video from his teenage years, a YouTuber asked him point blank whether he thought he was going to make it to the NBA. LaMelo's answer, had anyone taken it at face value, would have gone down as the single worst self-prediction in basketball history.
You gonna make it to the league? Nah. You don't think so?
The lie detector called his bluff almost immediately. Moments later, he was laughing and acknowledging that his first team preference would be the Lakers. Classic LaMelo, never giving you the performance you are expecting, because the performance itself is beside the point. He plays the same way on the court. You never quite know what is coming until it has already happened. Despite being one of the most famous young athletes on the planet, LaMelo has maintained one of the most closely guarded personal lives in the NBA. He has never publicly confirmed or denied most of the relationship rumors that have surrounded him, and his social media presence on personal topics is essentially non-existent. His earliest confirmed relationship was with high school girlfriend Ashley Alvano, who appeared briefly on Ball in the Family. When it ended, Alvano went on Instagram Live with frustrations that went viral. In 2022, LaMelo was linked to adult film actress Tiana Trump, who was spotted at multiple Charlotte Hornets games. The association drew significant online criticism, but no formal relationship was ever confirmed. Then came Anna Montana, and everything changed in the way things change when someone is genuinely important. Anna Montana, real name Annalisa Chavez, was born October 2nd, 1989, making her approximately 12 years older than LaMelo. She is a model and influencer who began her career around 2010, becoming a Fashion Nova ambassador and appearing in music videos for T.I., Rick Ross, and Flo Rida. The two were first connected through Instagram interactions in late 2021. They kept things quiet through 2022, with the 12-year age gap drawing intense criticism. Some accused Anna of grooming, others accused LaMelo of immaturity. Neither responded publicly. They officially went public as a couple in summer 2023 when LaMelo posted affectionate birthday messages for her on Instagram. As of March 2026, they remain together, and they have apparently become parents. Before we get to the children, we need to talk about something that has been working through the legal system since 2023, and that could significantly complicate LaMelo's public image and financial future. On October 7, 2023, following a Charlotte Hornets fan event called Purple and Teal Day at Spectrum Center, LaMelo Ball was driving his purple Rolls Royce through uptown Charlotte when fans surrounded the vehicle at a traffic light on North Caldwell Street. Among those fans was an 11-year-old boy named Angel Joseph, who approached the car hoping for an autograph. According to the lawsuit filed by the child's mother, Tamaria McRae, LaMelo then drove off in what she described as a grossly negligent and reckless manner, running over the boy's foot and breaking it before speeding away. The child suffered months of physical recovery, along with emotional distress the family says persists to this day. The family filed a civil lawsuit in May 2024 in Mecklenburg County Superior Court, seeking over $25,000 in compensatory damages plus attorney fees. Court filings revealed that the Charlotte Hornets had reportedly warned LaMelo multiple times about his driving habits around crowds. LaMelo denies fault. In a February 2025 filing, he asked the court to make the family pay his attorney fees. The Hornets separately filed a motion to dismiss, arguing they had no control over LaMelo's behavior on public streets. LaMelo's deposition was scheduled around March 16 to 17, 2026, with trial set for June 15, 2026. Then, almost 2.5 years after that first incident, LaMelo ended up in another driving headline. On February 18, 2026, LaMelo was involved in a two-vehicle collision near Trade and Tryon Streets in Uptown Charlotte. He walked away uninjured. Police announced approximately 4 days later that no charges would be filed, but coming as it did, so close to the Foot lawsuit and the Hornets' documented warnings about his driving, the crash fed a narrative that was already taking shape, that LaMelo Ball's relationship with public safety behind the wheel was not a one-time lapse, it was a recurring theme. In early 2026, social media communities had been buzzing with speculation that LaMelo Ball had recently become a father, possibly twice over. Neither LaMelo nor Anna Montana made any public statement. And then, during a ball in Dai Inai Sang, the family podcast episode airing around March 11, 2026, LaVar Ball, in his characteristically unfiltered way, confirmed what everyone had been wondering.
I'm telling y'all something special right here. Jello already got my #1 pick.
He paused, and then came the sentence that set the internet on fire.
I got another one too, called The One.
The name La One had been circulating in gossip circles since early 2026, tied to a birth date of approximately January 15, 2026, and attributed to LaMelo and Anna Montana. LaVar's follow-up references to training him in the backyard gym sealed the interpretation. LaMelo Ball was a father, a confirmed son, and the Ball dynasty was now officially entering its next generation. But one son, with Anna Montana, was only half the story, because circulating alongside LaOne was a daughter, allegedly born a few months earlier, to a different woman entirely. A woman who, on March 16, 2026, became the center of a firestorm that turned LaMelo's entire personal life into a breaking news event. And it is where things get truly complicated. The expose, the allegations, and a family pattern. On March 16, 2026, an account on X posting under the handle AOZAIG0TNFTs dropped a thread that, within hours, had accumulated over 7.5 million views, more than 17,000 likes, and was replicating across every major gossip platform on the internet. Before we get into a single word of what it claimed, there is one absolutely crucial thing to establish. The account's own bio states explicitly that everything posted is alleged and should not be taken as factual. This is a gossip account. It does not have court documents. It does not have verified sources on the record. That does not make the story unworthy of examination, because the reach it achieved means it is already shaping public perception of LaMelo Ball, whether anyone fact-checked it or not. But it absolutely means we must hold every single claim with the appropriate skepticism. According to the thread and related social media speculation, LaMelo Ball allegedly has a second child, a baby girl referred to widely as Kiyomi Milan Ball, with an Instagram model and influencer named Kalaya Nicole. Kalaya Nicole was reportedly connected to Ball family social circles going back to the Ball in the Family television era, meaning this was not a random encounter, but allegedly a long-standing connection to the orbit of the family. In early 2026, Kalaya had posted photos of an infant captioned along the lines of "Chunky girl is 3 months." Social media communities connected the dots. Features, timeline, connections, and then 880T NFTs turned speculation into a viral event. Every single item below is an allegation sourced from one social media gossip account with zero independent verification as of the time this script was written. We are presenting them because they have already reached millions of people, and context matters. We are not presenting them as facts. We are presenting them as what they are, allegations. According to the LiAngelo NFTs thread, LaMelo allegedly first offered Kalaya Nicole a private financial settlement to keep the matter quiet. She allegedly refused and instead pursued formal child support through the California court system, described in the thread as a lot of dollars. The thread further alleged that LaMelo had planned to introduce into court proceedings a video of Kalaya allegedly using a party drug referred to as Tusi, a substance associated with certain nightlife scenes, as evidence against her character in the custody dispute. And then came the most explosive claim in the thread. It alleged that Kalaya Nicole possesses text messages in which LaMelo Ball threatened to have her killed if she did not abort the pregnancy, threats allegedly sent while he was still in a relationship with Anna Montana. To repeat with complete clarity, as of March 17, 2026, no court documents have emerged. No police reports have been filed. No statements have been issued by LaMelo Ball, Kalaya Nicole, Anna Montana, or any Ball family member regarding any of these specific claims. No major outlet, ESPN, TMZ, Bleacher Report, or any other credible source has obtained independent verification of a single element of the above. These are allegations sourced from one account, amplified by the internet at extraordinary speed. Sportskeeda briefly published a headline echoing the rumors, but provided no new evidence, no sources, no filings. The story is moving at internet speed. The facts are moving much slower. Here is where this story becomes genuinely important beyond the gossip, because while LaMelo's situation exists entirely in unverified territory, his brother LiAngelo's comparable family drama has produced something far more concrete. Actual court documents, verified filing, specific dollar amounts in the public record, and very public accusations from two separate women. And the shape of that story maps onto what is being alleged about LaMelo with an eerie, uncomfortable precision. LiAngelo Ball, the middle Ball, brother and now a rapper with a reported Def Jam deal worth approximately $13 million, is currently involved in two separate active family court matters as of March 2026. The first involves former Love and Hip Hop Hollywood star Nicki Mudaris, with whom he has two children, son LaVelo Anthony Ball, born July 19, 2023, and daughter Lania Nicole Ball, born December 3, 2024. In court filings publicized by Us Weekly in December 2025, LiAngelo's legal team disclosed that he was earning $666,000 per month. $666,000 per month. Mudaris's attorneys argued that in a single month, LiAngelo earns more than Mudaris's entire net worth, including her cash, investments, equity in a Beverly Hills condo, and her share of a Rolls-Royce. Mudaris reported that her own income had dropped to zero after the births of their children, with monthly expenses exceeding $36,000, including $9,750 in rent, $4,400 in childcare, $2,000 in groceries, and $1,000 per month on DoorDash. She has spent $97,000 in attorney fees and owes her family $156,725 in loans just to cover living costs. No final support amount has been awarded. The case remains bitter and active. LiAngelo's second family court case involves Rashida Nicole, an influencer to whom he was secretly married on March 24, 2025. They separated June 15, 2025. Rashida announced her pregnancy June 26, 2025. LiAngelo filed for divorce on July 3, 2025, 1 week after the pregnancy announcement. Their daughter Lilo Legacy Ball was born in early December 2025. Rashida stated publicly that she attended every prenatal appointment alone, that LiAngelo did not attend the birth, and that 6 days after the baby was born, the father still had not visited or made contact with the child. She also alleged that LiAngelo had forced a late pregnancy name change and that he had repeated the same pattern of abandonment with her that Mudaris had described publicly. Now compare the two brothers' situations. LiAngelo: secret overlapping relationships, alleged abandonment post-birth, high earner income exposed in public court filings, two different women making strikingly similar complaints. LaMelo: allegedly secret overlapping relationships, allegedly secret child, allegedly a woman pursuing formal California child support after being offered a private settlement. One situation is documented in court records. The other is an unverified gossip thread, but the outline of both stories is drawn with the same hand. The Ball brothers were raised with a philosophy that emphasized emphasized family loyalty, independence from outside institutions, and above all, winning. They were pulled out of schools, withdrawn from the NCAA, yanked from Lithuanian professional teams whenever those institutions pushed back. The Big Baller brand, the reality show, the podcast, all of it has been filtered through the family's own carefully controlled narrative. That has been the family's greatest strength and, increasingly, its most significant blind spot. Because controlling the narrative works, right up until the moment that the court system, or a woman with text messages, decides to take the narrative out of your hands. Here is what we can say with certainty as of March 17, 2026. LaMelo Ball has at minimum one confirmed child, a son, LaVar Ball, born in early 2026 with Anna, Montana, confirmed through LaVar Ball's own words on the family podcast. He is the defendant in a civil lawsuit from the family of an 11-year-old boy whose foot he allegedly ran over in October 2023, with trial scheduled for June 15, 2026. He was involved in a second car crash in February 2026 with no charges filed. He is named as a defendant in a $200 million federal lawsuit tied to Big Baller brand and Puma. And there are now viral allegations, unverified, unconfirmed, clearly labeled as alleged by the original poster, of a secret second child, death threats, and a looming California child support case that, if real, will follow his brother's path directly into the public record. But first, to understand the man at the center of all of this, you need to understand the family that built him. The family behind the fame. LaVar Ball did not stumble into this. Not the brand, not the dynasty, not the cameras, the controversies, or the relentless belief that his children were going to be the greatest athletes the world had ever seen. All of it was deliberate. All of it was planned. And the plan started before LaMelo, before LiAngelo, before Lonzo, before any of them had drawn a single breath. Born in Los Angeles on October 23, 1967, LaVar Ball played college basketball at West LA College and Cal State Los Angeles, and had a brief stint on NFL practice squads and in NFL Europe's London Monarchs before shifting his focus to basketball and ultimately to something far bigger than either sport alone. He was not a star, he was a dreamer, with an engine that never switched off. And when he met Tina, a college basketball player herself at Cal State LA, who would later become a middle school athletic director, he was not just choosing a life partner. He was, by his own later admission, selecting the genetic blueprint for an empire. He told anyone who would listen that he chose Tina because she could play basketball, because she had the genes he needed, because his children were going to be elite athletes, whether the world was ready for them or not. LaVar, on this very subject, in a 2026 Ball in the Family podcast episode,
I'm telling y'all something special right here.
That is the kind of man we are dealing with here. The plan did not start when Lonzo got drafted. It did not start when LaMelo signed with Puma. It started before any of them were alive, before they had names, let alone jerseys. And then he said the quiet part out loud. LaVar and Tina settled in Chino Hills, California, and together had 3 sons. Lonzo Ball, born October 27, 1997, LiAngelo Ball, born November 24, 1998, and LaMelo, born August 22, 2001. 3 years, 3 sons, 3 future basketball players, all trained by their father from toddlerhood, all thrown into competition against opponents years older than them, all shaped into something that looked less like a normal family and more like a carefully assembled team with a very specific mission. The world got its first massive look at the Ball family in 2015 and 2016. When Chino Hills High School finished an undefeated 35-0 season with all 3 Ball brothers on the roster simultaneously. It was a spectacle. It was a movement. It made national headlines. Here was a family built on pure belief, relentless training, and a level of mutual loyalty that bordered on insularity, turning high school basketball into appointment viewing. In 2017, they launched a Facebook Watch reality series called Ball in the Family, which ran for 6 seasons and 116 episodes, documenting everything from Lonzo's rookie year with the LA Lakers, to LiAngelo's overseas misadventures, to LaMelo's prodigious rise. The show worked not because it was scripted, but because it was rawly, exhaustingly real. In 2016, LaVar Ball and his business partner Alan Foster launched Big Baller Brand, a family-owned apparel and footwear company built on one radical idea. Instead of accepting millions from Nike, Adidas, or Under Armour, LaVar would own the product, control the brand, and keep the generational wealth inside the family. He turned down major endorsement deals without blinking and made absolutely no apology for it. When he sat down at the Breakfast Club, he put the entire philosophy in one sentence. That defiant, uncontrollable energy became the engine driving the Ball brand into the cultural stratosphere, but the empire had cracks forming underneath all the noise. In March 2019, LiAngelo Ball severed ties with Foster after discovering the co-founder's prior criminal history, specifically a 2002 Ponzi scheme conviction involving over $4 million defrauded from more than 70 victims, and alleging that Foster had embezzled at least $1.5 million from LiAngelo's personal and business accounts. LiAngelo filed a lawsuit in April 2019, seeking over $2 million. Foster fired back in October 2019, countersuing LaVar Ball and claiming that he had embezzled over $2.5 million from company funds to finance an extravagant personal lifestyle. By April 2019, the Big Baller brand website had gone dark, and remaining inventory was being liquidated at steep discounts. Then in 2023, Foster escalated further, filing a federal lawsuit against LaVar, Tina, LaMelo, Puma, and related entities, seeking damages in excess of $200 million. As of March 2026, that case remains unresolved. At the center of everything was LaVar's philosophy on raising men. USA Today columnist Nancy Armour, writing in October 2017, labeled LaVar Ball the worst sports parent ever, comparing his approach to that of Marv Marinovich, the father famous for extreme pressure training his son Todd. Critics called him overbearing. They said he was treating his children as commodity. They said the pressure would break them. LaVar, as with every criticism directed at him, simply rolled through it. He had a clear philosophy. He was not pushing his sons, he was leading them. And if they chose to follow, great. If they chose another direction, that was on them, but they better not come back to him crying about it. Underneath all of the brand wars, the legal drama, the cameras, and the constant circus, 3 young men were growing up in the eye of a storm. The oldest became an NBA lottery pick, the middle one found his path in music, and the youngest, LaMelo, became the star at the center of a story that is now fully spinning out of the family's carefully controlled orbit. LaVar Ball is, at this very moment, sitting in his Big Baller brand flagship store in Chino Hills with a prosthetic leg and an undiminished belief that everything is going exactly according to plan. LaMelo Ball is preparing for a deposition in a lawsuit about an 11-year-old's broken foot, navigating a $200 million federal case, and possibly managing an unconfirmed second child situation, while saying absolutely nothing about any of it publicly. That silence is, in its own way, the most Ball family thing about all of it. The cameras are rolling, the world is watching, and nobody inside that family is saying a single word they do not absolutely have to say. Stay locked in. This story is far from over. Want to see more like this? Click the suggested cards on your screen to continue watching.